What is going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Now, for all of my anime fans out there, this build is allowing us hunters in the Strand class to become the StrandKage, using us a Rasengan, which is a Strand Tangle that has the Whirling Maelstrom Strand Aspect tangled to it. Destroying tangles will weave a violent, wreathing mass of strand fibers. The strand mass seeks out and damages targets, emitting unraveling projectiles when it defeats them. So it looks just like the Rasengan or the Raseng Shuriken from Naruto, where the Hokage in Minato as well as Naruto have this banger special ability. Couple other characters can use it, but we are talking about the Kages today, wiping out everything with this Strand build, also utilizing the Foe Tracer exotic helmet to accent it just a little bit more. So starting us off, that Whirling Maelstrom, which I just described, those tangles become that mass of strand fibers which seek out targets and defeat them, creating unraveling projectiles when that happens. This is a super useful aspect of tangles, which are already very useful, making them even better with this Whirling Maelstrom. Now we are going to be using Widow's Silk, so we have an additional grenade charge, which we are going to be using our Shackle Grenade, because this build is all about tangles, so you will see why, because suspended targets unwind into tangles when defeated, why we're using double grenades there. Also our Threaded Spike right here with triple jump, marksman's dodge, and our Silk Strike. Now we're going to be using Thread of Generation so we can get that grenade energy back faster when dealing damage, so we can continuously shackle those enemies and suspend them. Picking up Orbs of Power grant us that Woven Mail, because we are using that for here when we have Woven Mail. Weapon Final Blows have the chance to create those tangles, so the pairing of Thread of Warding with Thread of Transmutation is perfect for creating infinite tangles on this build, with that Suspend, Unravel, and Sever effects lasting longer because of continuity, so the spend on our grenade as well as the unravel that we're getting from the Maelstrom and those Rasen Shuriken Strand Tangle Maelstroms. Moving on to our armor pieces, especially this exotic helmet, which got a nice little buff. Relentless Tracker, damaging a powerful combatant or guardian with an ability grants a temporary bonus to weapon damage, matching our subclass type. So this can be a versatile helmet. Defeating the target with a weapon matching the damage of your subclass creates an elemental pickup. This is the more important part, so we're going to be using all strand weapons on this build since we got that tessellation with the new final shape exotic a little bit early. We can have tangles everywhere because of this helmet. Now we're going to be using Heavy Ammo Finder and Scout with that Harmonic Siphon. Like I said, all of our weapons are going to be strand. Now on top of that, Strand Loader right here with Harmonic Loader, as well as Focusing Strike and Bolstering Detonation, so we can get our class ability when causing damage with our grenade, as well as our melee attack, so we can dodge around just like a hunter should. Now we're going to be using that Harmonic Reserves, of course, since all of our weapons are strand, as well as concussive and void resistant. These, again, just like all the builds, can change them up depending on what you are going into, but doing Crotas, a lot of void being shot at you with those acolytes, so went with void resistance. Now I am going to be using Strand Weapon Surge on this build, as well as recuperation, so we can get our health back on those orbs, as well as the strand damage for our weapons. I know Foe Tracers does give you increased weapon damage, but it is only on those guardians, which doesn't matter for the PvE realm or powerful combatants. So it isn't all the time that that weapon damage is going to be improved because of Foe Tracers, but with the Strand Weapon Surge and being able to have that armor charge up basically continuously, we're going to have that weapon at least at ×2 for the majority of the time, with Double Bomber on our class item and Time Dilation to make our strand weapon damage last a little bit longer, as well as when we dodge, we get our grenade back to keep that suspend happening and create even more tangles. onto the weapons that I am using with this build. Using the Rufu's Fury with that Demolitionist specifically. Paracausal Affinity helps with the Strand build, of course, but that Demolitionist, when we do get those defeats, we're going to be getting our Shackle Grenade back just a little bit faster, allowing us to create even more Tangles. Now we are going to be using the Tessellation as well, so we can get more defeats with that Strand synergy, and like it says on our helmet, we can create those class drops with Tangles based on if we're using the same damage type as our subclass, with the Cataphract GL right here, Envious Assassin, Explosive Light on this, so it is very nice with the DPS, can hold about 10 plus 12 in the magazine with Envious Assassin, and then Explosive Light, you're getting at least 6 of those to have that nice juicy damage on it, so it does deal out a good amount of damage for a Strand Grenade Launcher. So with all of those Strand weapons pairing with our Foe Tracers and creating Tangles for us, those will be everywhere, so Maelstroms will be spinning. Now on top of that, we're going to be using Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle with that Unstoppable Fusion. Now on top of that right here, we are having Strand Weapon Final Blows have a chance to create Tangles, so this pairs perfectly so we can get even more Tangles on this build, allowing us to throw even more of those shurikens in the Strand form out there. Now we are going to be using Overload Machine Gun. You could switch to Circular Logic if you wanted on this build. Also a Strand weapon with the Overload, so you could use Anti-Barrier, Unstoppable, and Overload on this build, with the Elemental Fury and Refreshing Pickups to spam our abilities a little bit more often by picking up those Tangles, as well as stunning champions take damage from our abilities or elemental orbs, so that'll count towards those Maelstroms and you can get a couple going at once. So this is super nice for that endgame content and dealing damage on champions, with obviously Monochromatic Meister and Elemental Munitions to have that ammo be flowing all over the place, with Monochromatic giving us that nice damage buff for our weapons and our abilities. So the Strand synergy of this build is off the charts. I feel, like I said, like the StrandKage, being able to throw those Rasen Shurikens around all over the place with them Whirlwind Maelstrom Tangles. It is pretty nice with damage, like I said, especially with Elemental Fury, but even without that, its ability to track enemies, cause unraveling as well is super nice for that ad management, and with just in general how we have this built out with our aspects, fragments, as well as our armor mods, Tangles will be everywhere for you, so it is super nice to get those Maelstroms just going like Tasmanian devils around the map, wiping out everything in your path. So definitely, Hunters, give this a try out. The Strand Aspects definitely feeling good from this season. Banner Award definitely feels the best, with this one being my second favorite in the Whirling Maelstrom, and then the Weave Walker being my least favorite. Still very, very good and useful at times, but a little bit more niche than Banner of War, as well as our Maelstrom right here. So thank you all again for that support. Truly appreciate all you guys. Make sure to hit up the description for all the socials, as well as the entry into the PC giveaway down below. So make sure to hit that up, as well as the Discord, to hit the notification button, as well as that little bell. Subscribe for us on here so you don't miss out on any of these builds, as well as those weapon guides. So appreciate all y'all. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.